than when we saw him earlier, and I believe he has just been up the kill feeding, up the tree feeding on the kill though, and now has come down. So our timing has been a little bit off this afternoon. We missed his initial feeding at around 3 p.m. when there was another vehicle here, and it appears we've just missed his 6 o'clock feeding. Now, they don't feed every 3 hours necessarily, but that has been the case this afternoon roughly. It therefore means that I think it will be some time before he continues to feed on this duiker, but we will certainly stay with him, as who knows what may arrive at this scene now. The fact that he has been feeding on it means that the smell of meat and blood will be permeating through the air, and any hyena or other predators, even lion and other leopard, may come to investigate and look for an easy meal. We can also hear some elephants rustling. We think it's elephants rustling in the bushes to our left. So that is the breakdown of the sighting, and he's lying up now in the riverbed. We can't really reposition the vehicle in any way. The riverbed is only wide enough for the vehicle, so we can't really move around. Now, what I can tell you folks is that I am very, very envious of all of you, because it sounds like you have had an incredible sighting with Brent. And for those of you who were on the morning safari with myself, we did manage to see that same male lion for a few minutes, and he did vocalize just once, but it doesn't sound like it was quite as good as the vocalizations that you've heard with Brent this evening. It does make a big difference if the animal's facing you in terms of the intensity and loudness of the roar. And I did mention this morning that if there was one thing that I could choose to be able to show people on safari in Africa, it would be that. It would be to hear a male lion calling. There's nothing quite like it. And so happy that Brent's got his turn this evening. We had our turn this morning. And also, huge congratulations to Brent on finding him. As you would have probably pieced together, we completely were wrong and misinterpreted the tracks that we did have of him. And again, you learn something every day out here, and we certainly learned something this afternoon with regards to the tracking. But very, very envious of all of you, and it was quite funny hearing Nikki's remarks from the final control. She was also very jealous of them, I guess, being let there at the moment. So, wonderful news for everyone, and our luck continues here at Djuma. We've been very, very fortunate with some incredible game viewing. And it's not just seeing certain animals, it's the quality of the sighting that you're experiencing with them. And there's one thing seeing a male lion fast asleep, but having him pace down the road towards the vehicle whilst he's roaring, which is what I've been told has just happened with you and Brent, is incredibly great quality. Well, life is good for this leopard. He killed the baboon 2 days ago and fed on that until probably late last night. And when we found him this morning, he managed to catch this duiker. We didn't see the kill. We just heard the distress call of the duiker as the leopard obviously caught it, and that helped keep us in this area and helped us to find this leopard. If it wasn't for that duiker's distress call when it was caught, we probably would have moved away and left this area, as it's very thick and hard to get vehicles into, even if you do find the animal on foot. Well, we had a quick peek up at the kill. We're not far from it, and we will show it to you shortly. Well, I guess now would be a good time as he's lay up behind. A bush there. We're just going to need to reverse ever so slightly, but that's fine because we can't see him from where we are now. So we may as well reverse a little bit and show you the kill and then decide what to do next. You can see it from this side still. See if we can creep a little bit forward and see it, but I fear that from this angle we may not be able to see it exactly where he's sitting. We'd be able to get a view, but he's already got that spot. Then you might be able to get it in that small gap there. I'm not sure. Can you see it there? Okay, let me creep forward ever so slightly. Now, you can just see a tiny bit of the hoof and the jaw of the impala as if it's the diker rather, as if it's looking down. And I'd say he's fed on about a quarter of it so far, maybe a little bit more, so he certainly will be here in the morning, which is good prospects for us, and hopefully our timing will be a little bit better and we'll get to see him up this tree. Okay, copy. Awesome. Copy, perfect. Quite a few people asking whether Kunyuma would have heard the audio of that male lion calling where you were, and I'm fairly certain he would have been able to hear that audio. Their hearing is much better than ours. We couldn't hear it though, and to give an idea of how far a human can hear it from, it's around 5 miles. Now, that's the maximum distance that you would be able to hear them vocalizing from. And that is in perfect conditions. So this evening, in the fact that the terrain was quite undulating and there was a little bit of a breeze, we couldn't hear the audio from where we were, and we were probably around 3 miles away from it, but I think Kunyuma could well have heard that, and it's far too far away to be of any concern to him. He wouldn't be worried. And they do come across lion very often and avoid lion very often. And this same leopard that we are looking at now actually hung around and attempted to steal kills from that same male lion and that male lion's one coalition partner. The two of them managed to take down a buffalo a couple of months back. And Kunyuma obviously heard the commotion and stuck around, and we actually saw him with the hoof of a buffalo that he stole from the kill after the lions had moved off. We didn't actually see him stealing from the lion during the 2 days that they fed on the buffalo, But that's not to say he didn't manage to sneak in while they were there and steal from them. They are masters of being elusive and disappearing, and they know that. So they occasionally take chances, even with male lions. An update from Brent. The lion has got up and moved off, so there's no longer any visual of it. And he is now headed off to look for something else. Who knows what? Now, is he going to prove us wrong? Is he going to go up the kill and feed up the tree and feed a little bit more on the kill? Quite possibly. Let's wait and see. It could be, on the other hand, that he's thinking of going for a drink at the dam. Now we need to decide what to do, because for us to get back up onto... We'll just wait a moment or two and see if he doesn't go up the tree. And either way, it'll be better for us to view him from that side if he does go up. So let's just go around. It's just quite tricky to get there from where we are here. So I don't want to go around there unnecessarily. Vehicles are incredible what they can do. And just as well, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get to a lot of the places we do need to get to be able to show you what goes on out here. Well, I'm hoping, like I say, that he's going to have got onto the road and started heading up towards the dam. We're only a few hundred meters away from it, and I'm guessing he's gone to quench his thirst. Which is wonderful prospects, because that is another thing that I really love viewing, and it is leopards drinking, or any animals really drinking is good quality, be it elephants or impala or leopard. It's always great to watch. So I'm going to go with my gut feel, not spend too much time looking for him there, and with a bit of luck we're going to turn around this corner and see him walking down the road. Not this corner, maybe the next one. Okay, folks, Brent's found something really interesting, so I hope you enjoy what he's got in store for you.
Okay, we're going to go live.
We're going to go live shortly. Welcome back, guys. So we left that male lion, and Andrew kindly called us, and he found 2 leopards at Twin Dams. It's, from what I'm hearing, it's Mvula and a female called Kwatile. And they have been mating in the property to the south of us. So there's it's likely that they are mating, so we will stay with them. I heard from at the rangers meeting today that they have been mating in the property to the south of us. So this is the first time I've seen the Kwatile female. You guys obviously probably have a better idea about where she's from and and who she is. So could you let Nikki know a bit about her history so she can fill me in? Thanks very much, Andrew. Cheers, guys. Have a great evening. Okay. Perfect, huh? There we go. They're lying up on the wall, so we're gonna actually go move around underneath them. Let's just try and just in case she decides to do exactly what she's doing. So leopard females can be very flirty when they want to mate. They'll literally wipe their tail under the male's nose, and leopard females will move out of territory to mate. Okay, so we're just going to try and move around to a better position. We'll be with them in a sec. Boom, 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 boom. Big hole. Thank you very much, Romeo. That could have seen me lose a cameraman if I'd hit that one. Male. Now where's the female? It's probably just below him. So hold on, guys. We're gonna go down this steep little bank. See if we can find a way in, which I'm pretty sure I can. Below down water. FM. But if you've got a good visual there, no worries. Which is better, like that?
I like that, it's more romantic.
Okay, there we go. That's why he's called Romeo. So for those of you here clicking, it's just my camera. Go ahead, Lex. OFM, best visual is below the dam where I am, and there's plenty of space.
Lights on, open it. Lights on? Right. Now put the lights on.
they've decided to move now. Let's get through over here. Sorry, I just need to try to find a way. Watch out.
Sorry.
Holes for me from up high there, Romeo? Oh, Jesus. Maybe we should really disconnect those computers. Got too many buttons on these cars. Isn't that a beautiful shot? Oh, isn't that stunning, guys? We have been spoilt rotten tonight. Sorry, wrong radio. Next coming. Do you have any information on this female, Kwatile, yet? Copy, thanks very much. So she's about to roll, or she's rolling or rubbing on, is that buffalo dung? Look like. So I'm not sure where she holds territory, but as far as I know, this is one of the core parts of Karula's territory. But female leopards will move out of territory to mate. She'll mate with all the male leopards that might possibly hold territory in her area, that the cubs are theirs. And we can hear that male lion in the distance, the one we were watching a bit earlier. Okay, so next just stand by. Next just give me a little bits, please. So her name is Kwatile, which means the angry one. She was born in July 2007. Okay, next carry on. She's the southern territorial female and the last remaining cub of Djuma. She is now the southern neighbor of her mother. She apparently killed an adult male. Oh, just hang on, I'm going to talk about what she's doing now. So that's leopard flirting, pretty much. Growling. She's trying to entice Mvula into mating. He doesn't look very interested, which means they could have been mating for a few days. So quite often leopards will mate for 4 or 5 days, generally about every 15 minutes for those 4 or 5 days. And quite often it's the male that will end the mating and try and move away from the female. But if we hang around, we might see some action. They've asked me to put it on the male. So apparently she did have a young male cub, but it was killed. So this is probably why she's mating again now. And I'm just going to move this spotlight a little bit. Thanks. Unfortunately, that's about the most information that you can find on her. And the reason she is on Djuma is because of the mating. So she's moved out of territory to mate. Because obviously Mvula will be one of the male leopards that holds territory that close to her natal territory. So apparently, sorry, next go again. I had to listen to the Game Drive channel. So apparently she's normally seen in the southern sections of Arethusa. So apparently she was seen mating with Mvula in late December 2014. She could have miscarried or lost a cub without anyone knowing in this short time period, and that is causing her to mate again. Mvula with a bit of scent marking. So female leopards will almost harass males after a few days to keep mating. She might try again now and right in front of us, hopefully, with leopard flirting. She's quite a pretty female. Apparently there's a few of you guys out there that are worried that the light is interfering. You can see this is very natural behavior. They behave like this during the day, so it's very unlikely that the light is actually interfering with them. As you can see, they're completely carrying on as they would normally. Thanks, next. From Erin Fowler, she says Kwatile has mated with Mvula, Tingana, and what was the third male in the last 3 or 4 months?
I don't know, but it's unknown to me.
Lamula. So it possibly means is since she lost that last cub, she hasn't got pregnant from the mating. So she's continued mating, and you can see Mvula's rolling in the exact same patch of dung that Kwatile did a few minutes ago.
So romantic.
Copy. Ooh. He's caught something. Oh, he's a scrub hare. He just chased a scrub hare right in front of the vehicle. That was very close. He's right there. He just took off after that scrub hare. He looks quite hungry. He's been mating for a few days. That's probably why. Well, she is a very pretty little leopard, but good looking. So we've been in a really good spot quite a while, so we're going to let some of the other vehicles go in front of us for a while, but don't worry, we're not going anywhere, we're staying with them. You're still after that scrub here. How's it, Styx?
Great, how are you, mate?
Very well, and yourself?
Good.
Yes, so nice. It's a pretty good female, eh?
Yeah.
I think, are they going back? I might loop around the other side of the dam. We're just going to give the other guys a chance up in front. What we're going to do is loop around to where they're going. That was incredible. Did you see how quickly Mvula turned his speed there? He saw something we couldn't, and he just charged off. That scrub here was definitely a bit quicker. Is that from you next? Cecilia on Twitter is much smarter than me, because I didn't even think about that. Said he was chasing the Easter Bunny. Oh. I see them. A leg's coming. Two Styx lionesses look like they're going to move into that position as well. They are just behind the dam wall crossing. So guys, just to give you an update, we've got two lionesses moving towards those leopards. The two Styx lionesses. They're directly in front of me now. I'll put the lights on. Oops. Don't want to blind Paul Craig. But you'll see the spotlight ahead of me. Two lionesses are about to arrive. Next, do you copy that? Could you just update Scott? Okay, so just update them. The leopards are heading back towards the boundary, but the two Styx lionesses are now on the boundary. So we're just going to stand by here because the other guys are with the leopards.
Is this real life?
So this could get very interesting very shortly, guys. Too many radios in this car. Hey, firm. This was actually discussed at the Rangers meeting today, and it's stationary sighting takes preference, but both sightings are mobile. So I think I'll speak to Lex and see what he thinks. I'll come in with the lines. Copy, I will do. Go ahead. Copy. These two lionesses are coming west now on that road that goes around the back of Twin Dams. How big is big?
Huge.
Like big enough that we wouldn't make it out of that hole?
Don't know.
Okay, sorry. Big hole.
Straight.
Really big hole. When my cameraman starts going, big hole, big hole, big hole, I start listening. Yeah. Yeah. I went off on this big path. I'm just going to loop around. Copy next. Okay. I might go for a drink. There we are. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So guys, a lot of people are wondering what happens if the lion and the leopard have to meet. I think I heard the lions uttering quite low contact calls, and I think they probably heard the leopard flirting. But I'm probably sure the leopard would move away from them as fast as possible. Legs coming. So apparently Mvula is quite close to us here. I'm just going to find out. He could actually sneak into the bush and just watch the lions. So Mvula is probably 50 meters off directly in front of us. The lions are now moving off to our, or straight at us, almost. So you're going to see now, you're going to see the other vehicle in front of us. There, that is where Mvula is, and he's hiding in that bush, just watching the lions go past, I think. He's with Lex, apparently, at that bush. Oh, that's not Lex. I thought it was. Sorry. So that wasn't where the leopard was. Legs coming. Cheers, Vol. Lex, from the last position I had you, where are you now? Okay, copy that. The lions have come off that road and are heading almost due west now. FM, we got it. The lions have heard it as well.
So the leopards have moved through, come across the body.
The lions are now jogging towards where those impala alarm calls are coming from. Copy, thanks, Craig. There's an old 2-track that I'm on at the moment. Copy, thanks. Next, these 2 lionesses are making a beeline to your position. It's always difficult following an animal through a thick block, and at night it becomes that much more difficult, even with all our extra lights. Go ahead, Gav. Depends how far we're in the block between Weaver's Nest and Twin Downs. Let's is with Kwatile and Mvula, and we're following the 2 Styx lionesses who are making their way towards that position. Alex, I've got your visual. Alex, I'm directly behind you. There's one lioness between you and I, and another lioness just slightly to the west. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna move out, rather not interfere. So what happens, guys, is the leopards were spotted by some impala, and they started alarm calling. Let's turn our lights off. And they started alarm calling. And the lions started jogging towards that area. So the lions started jogging towards where the leopards are. And Lex, who's another vehicle, and I've just had a discussion, we don't want to adversely interfere. By crashing around, we might make it easier for the lions to sneak up on the leopards and surprise them because we're interfering with the hearing. So one second. Affirm. So what we're going to do now is we'll switch off. I think we're probably going to move out of the area. We obviously don't want to interfere, and especially in a situation like that where due to human influence, an animal might be killed. So it'd be a slightly different situation if it wasn't so thick and we didn't crash through the bush so much. So, guys, Scott and VM have asked me to sign out for them. Obviously, had quite a lot of action where we were, so we stayed with us. So, from us here at WildEarth, we're going to move out and head home. We will definitely come follow up on the tracks and try to figure out what happened in the morning. But obviously, as I said, we don't want to interfere. So it's been a really amazing, exciting afternoon. I mean, a lucky lion, actually 3 lucky lions, when we thought we weren't going to see any. And then also really nice to see a male and female leopard together and see a bit of that interaction while she was trying to get Mvula to mate with her. But from Romeo and myself and Scott, Vim and Nikki and FC, it's been great having you all with us. And we look forward to joining us all again in the morning to do it all over again. Good night.